Welcome to my craft area. I'm Anna Hellman and I'm so glad you're here with me today. Let's look at today's project. All this week I've been sharing some really neat projects with Stampin' Up's new Butterfly Brilliance special release, which is not included in any of our catalogs. And today I'm really excited to be sharing with you a shaker card made with this set. So just to give you an idea of the other projects I've shared this week, I've shared a couple of technique videos. Here was one with the Joseph's coat technique and clear embossing powder on some designer paper. Here is a really neat wedding card with some of our pearlescent paper. And on this one, the slimline card, I shared a tip for how to emboss a piece that is larger than your embossing folder. So that's one that I've shared. Here was a fun watercolor one with some pretty vellum overlays with the shimmer paint on top. And then in my introduction video, I just shared a collection of cards that you can make with this really neat bundle. So I will link to all of these so you can take a look at them if you are interested. But today's project is going to be this fun shaker card, and it will come together in just a few minutes. So we will get started. So the things you'll need for this shaker card include the die set for this Butterfly Brilliance. I did not use the stamps on this one, but I did use the dies. You'll need this is an oversized card, if you cannot tell. So I am either going to make an envelope for this or include it with a hand-delivered package. But my oversized card it measures 6.5 inches by 10.5, and then I scored it at 5 1/4 and folded that in half. We have a mat that is going to lay on top of that measures 5 by 6 1/4. And then we have a piece of window sheet and a piece of pearlescent paper that each measure 4 7/8 by 6 1/8. And I've done some prep work on this pearl piece that I'll explain here in just a second. So this is basically what we'll need. We will also need some of the butterflies that have been die cut out from one of the designer paper prints. So here are a few of the butterflies, and I die cut them from this particular designer paper print, and I just used this large die to cut them out of that print. So they line up perfectly with the designer paper, run it through. I cut all of these out in one crank through my cut and emboss machine. And then to explain what I did with this pearlescent piece, I ran it through my machine again, cut these butterflies out, and then I have embossed it with the Scripty embossing folder. This pearlescent paper is just gorgeous, and when you emboss it, it really brings out the shimmer for the paper. Now on this one, I did a couple of steps just a little bit different, and sorry about the glare there. But on this one, I die cut the butterflies out. I actually embossed the butterflies with the Tasteful Textile folder. I don't know if you can see that texture in this. And then I did not emboss the pearlescent piece on this one. So once we get done, we can look at the differences. But let's go ahead and get started. And I have a little person here who I bet is just itching to say hello.
Hello.
Hello, she says. So the first thing I want to do is attach the butterflies to this cardstock mat that is going to go on the front of the card. I want to attach the butterflies in the correct spaces. So I want to line up this pearlescent piece so that I can see the mint is the color I'm using here, mint macaron, so that I can see that behind on all the edges. So this is where it's going to be in the right spot. And I want to lay those butterflies right in those holes, kind of like puzzle pieces. So I will put a little bit of glue on the back of these pieces and then lay them in the correct spots.
I love the butterfly backgrounds.
You love these?
I like the backgrounds.
It's such a neat set, and we have had a lot of fun playing with it. So I am just going to hold this pearlescent piece in place. If you wanted to attach this with some removable adhesive, you could. I just decided to lay it down where it belongs and hold it in place. But I'll fill in these butterflies where they belong.
Mommy, what are these for?
You'll see, that's what pops up the shaker cards so that there's space for the sequins to shake.
Oh, okay.
So I've made a few shaker cards lately. This one is a little bit different because the shaker pocket is actually the entire size of the card.
Wow.
So it allows a lot of space for the sequins to shake around in there.
You got some glue on your hand.
I know, I got some glue on my hand. I'll wipe it off here. Okay, so once those butterflies are on, I have to lift the pearlescent piece off and get it away. So these edges do catch a little bit, so I just want to be careful as I lift up that I don't tear any of those butterflies or tear my top piece. And that should be good. Now, while we have this here, I will attach my greeting. If you see here, I attached this little greeting that says smile, and that is right in there with the butterfly under the clear covering of the shaker pocket. So I stamped it with the Daisy Lane stamp set. I really like the smile and the friend greetings in this one. So I'll add a little bit of glue to the back of this greeting and attach it. Now we will begin creating our materials for the actual shaker card itself. So what I want to do, I'm flipping the pearlescent piece over to the back. My assistant here is helping me with my foam pieces. And I want to add just a touch of glue to this so that I can get it to stick to the clear shaker piece, the window sheet. So I am just going to add glue to the larger spots in here. The whole thing does not have to be completely adhered. If I get glue on those larger areas, this should be fine. And I want to, I was going to say flip that over, but I take that back. I am just going to lay the window sheet right on top of that.
I do that too.
That sounds easier. Is this the way you do it?
If I would, that would be...
I think this way makes more sense. You would do it this way because you're pretty good at coming up with good ways to do things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have that attached. Now we are going to take some of our foam strips and little miss, where's my last one?
Oh.
Fell on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
So these are really nice. These are perfect for making shaker cards. So I am going to take two of these shorter ones and attach them across the top and the bottom. Then I will use these longer ones and I'll cut them down to the right length for the sides. But you want to keep these right along the edge because if not, they are going to show behind your butterflies. So this is why I made this an oversized card, is because to be able to include all of these butterflies, it just needed to be this large. I really like how it turned out. I like to make different shapes and sizes of cards sometimes to spice things up a little bit. Here, I'm going to put this one down here.
Are these big ones too long?
They are. We will have to trim that.
Okay. I have little square dot things.
Okay, now here are my long ones. These are the length they come in the package. So I am going to trim this down. Attach this one along this edge. You want to make sure you get these foam strips connected, that they attach right together, because if not,
Then
your
they'll
sequins,
spill.
yeah, your sequins or your shakers or whatever you add in your shaker card, they could spill. And that's no fun when they spill, is it?
No.
Nope, we want to keep them in there. So trim that to the right length and get this fourth one attached. Looks like it is a touch long. Now that fits.
Perfect.
Perfect. So Kelsey, would you like to remove the paper backing from each of those foam strips while I add sequins?
I was just gonna ask that.
Okay. And I guess I should assemble this to the front of the card before we add our sequins in. So this is some of our Seal Plus adhesive. I really like this because it's nice and strong for big pieces and when there's a lot of things happening on a card. Okay, so I have that attached now with my card sample. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but we'll try. I use some of our Whale of a Time sequins, and if you look at these pink ones, they are actually seashells, but I thought they looked really neat with this. I think they look a little bit like butterfly wings. So those were the sequins I used on my sample card. For this one, I'm going to use some Woven Threads sequins. I like the colors of these, and I thought they would look nice with these butterflies. So that is probably about how many I used on my sample. Just to give an example of what more will look like,
You need a little bit
I
more
am
of
going
those
to add
sequins.
that many. And now I'm going to lay this over top and try to get this matted right in the center of that mint piece. So once I have it where I want it, just press it down.
Wow.
And let's admire our shakers. Isn't that fun? I really like how they can shake around between all of the different spots for the butterflies. And then for one last finishing touch,
The ribbon.
we'll add a bow. And I was going to tie this ahead of time, and I thought I would take another chance to show you my handy little ribbon trick for tying bows. This is perfect, and I've been able to teach a lot of beginners to tie a bow in one try with this. So you want a little loop in each hand with your tails hanging down at the bottom. Then you're going to cross the right one behind the left one. Then this one over here, you are going to loop down and through this center loop. Then you pull all of this tight. You'll have to pull your tails a little bit to tighten everything up.
That's cool.
And Kelsey, maybe we could teach you to tie a bow like this. I bet you could do this. We'll have to try sometime. That was her gulp that she's been doing here lately. So trim the ends off and we'll be ready to attach this onto the card. So I hope you like this shaker card. I think this is a really fun project to make with this new Butterfly Brilliance collection. I hope you have enjoyed all of these videos this week. And if you have any other questions about this set, or if I can help you with anything, please let me know. Thanks so much for joining in today. For more information and links to the products used today, click in the video description box down below to visit my website. Make sure you also click down below to subscribe to my channel and hit the little bell to receive notifications when I share new videos. I truly appreciate you being here, as well as every like, share, and comment that I receive. I'll see you again next time when I'll be back helping you to hand make with love.